Yeah, First Amendment, basically, it's that the government can't infringe on your right to speak. That's it. The government can't say that. It can't do compelled speech. You must write that book. You must bake that cake. You must do this. You must do that. No compelled speech. Big one. First one. It's not to protect newspapers, not to protect media. It's just simply the common man should be able to speak against the government, whatever he or she wants to say. Now, in the private, your boss can go to you and go, hey, I don't like you saying that. You're not allowed to say that. That's your boss. That's between your boss and you, right? You're not protected because your boss says, hey, if you say that again, you're done. You're fired. You're out of here. It's not your First Amendment right. It doesn't extend between you and a private citizen. It's the government cannot stop you from saying things. Town square, say what you want to say. Go ahead. You want to be a Nazi? You want to march down the street? Go ahead. You want to be an Antifa person? You want to march down the street? Go ahead. Just, make sure you're home in your mom's basement by at least 1 o'clock. So the important thing is, I understand the First Amendment. That's it. Oh, by the way, one other quick thing. A little gong on this one or some sort of explosion make it seem more important than it is. But it is important. Andrew, anything in there? About to make a big point. Big point. Anything you got? Just that's good. Okay. There is no such thing. It is not recognized in any court. It is not. There is no such thing as hate speech. Nothing. Now, you can say things that are hateful. Go ahead. Try taking it to court. He said something that was hateful and it hurt my feelings. Go cry to your mom. There's no such thing as hate speech. They have it in the UK. They have it in Canada. They have it in other countries. Some countries, you say something against Muhammad, cut your head off. Hate speech. We don't have hate speech here. We don't. We never have it, never will. God forbid it ever comes from anywhere. Pam Bondi, who I was surprised she got this job. Not really. If you look at her, you think, okay, fine. But she's not the stuff she did in Florida, not very bright. But anyway, she's on with Katie Miller. Oh, is this what you call it? Is that Miller's wife? Stephen Miller's, Stephen Miller's wife. I didn't know that. Oh my God. Listen to this exchange.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is
no such thing as hate speech. Just letting you know.
There's no place, especially now.
Go ahead,
and there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
Oh my God.
We will absolutely target you, go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech.
No!
Anything. And that's across the aisle.
No! No! Oh my God, did you read that from the far left handbook? I mean, that's exactly what people have been trying to do. Get the government in there, censor people, stop people, put them in jail, domestic terrorists. What are you saying at a school board? Oh, my God. Then later on, she goes on Fox to try to clean it up.
And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying horrible things, and they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon.
Wait. What? You get prosecuted for that?
You have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking at that immediately, that Office Depot had done that. We're looking at that.
Oh.
What happened to the cake?
So does anybody know what happened? This guy goes in there and he wants to get a poster. They're doing a memorial for Charlie Kirk, and it has his name, and it has the date of his birth and day of his death. And they've got a picture of him. And they went to Office Depot and they said, hey, they dropped it off there to get it made. And he went in, he videotaped it, and they said, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not allowed to print propaganda. So then somebody, I don't know, some other place said, we'll print it for you. It made a big deal. And then I think Office Depot sent out something like, we don't blah, blah, whatever, protect the employees, whatever. But that's like, what, we're going to go after you for that? What, does Trump jump in on this?
And what do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, a lot of your allies.
Careful, Trump, careful. You don't want to sound like...
Say hate speech is free speech. We'd probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe they'll come after ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech. So maybe they'll have to go after you. Look, we want everything to be fair. It hasn't been fair. And the radical left has done tremendous damage to the country. But we're fixing it. We have right now the hottest country anywhere in the world. And remember, 1 year ago, our country was dead. And I fixed it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd just like to ask him a question and have him insult you for the first seven seconds. All right. Here's an example of it. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Must have been yesterday. So Jimmy Kimmel's on his show. He's an alleged comedian. He says,
the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Okay. And then what happened? Just came up on the news just now. Jimmy Kimmel pulled off after suggesting Kirk's suspect was MAGA. So he has been taken off his show indefinitely. And I'm sure, they're doing the CBS media analyst. Oh, good. Brian Stelter is saying, I'm assuming ABC is so afraid of Donald Trump because Donald Trump is a fascist and a Nazi. They're so afraid of him that he'll come after them, that they don't want to get sued. And then just guessing, they don't want to get sued again. So they're so afraid they've silenced Jimmy Kimmel. Well, maybe they looked at it like, do we want our host saying stuff like this that obviously isn't true? Certainly the corporations across America have realized the reason Donald Trump won so decisively, his opponent was not up to the job. But also people are like, hey, we're tired of, being told this and told that. So that's our guy and we'll put him in there. Yes, Joe, you have a quick
Well,
question?
I think the one thing about the Kimmel situation that is kind of dicey is that the head of the FCC is on record saying, he needs to be fired or suspended or we're going to consider taking their license.
Oh, God.
Which that goes from like your employee.
The FCC takes the license away from ABC because they don't like the political stuff that they're saying. Oh, that's, crap. That wouldn't go anywhere.
Right.
But that's the threat. Who knows why they took them off? But people are now going to be chomping away on the meat of that bone. He went on to call J.D. Vance's claims about violence and left it BS.
Many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk. Yesterday, J.D. Vance, who himself famously called Donald Trump America's Hitler, hosted the Charlie Kirk podcast from the White House, where he pointed his little mascara-stained finger directly at the left.
While our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
Right. And by statistical fact, he means complete bullshit.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so he's off indefinitely, and then they'll make an announcement. But that news just broke about a couple minutes ago, so Joe, good job getting this out. How disappointing of Pam Bondi. I mean, really? You're going to go after some company because they won't print a poster? I mean, this thing has gone to the court, I think, 3 times. You go back to the Christian baker that says, when I produce a cake, it's art, it's one of a kind. Therefore, it's a production comes from me. I produce this. I cannot produce something that I don't, I can't take a message and put a message on one of my cakes that I don't want to put on there. It's a violation of my First Amendment right. It's compelled speech. And then they had a whole argument. It's really interesting. You read the case. Then you read the argument. It's like, is baking a cake unique? Right? Is it just like you pound out this cake? Is it really something that you have to put a lot of heart and soul into? It would be and then the arguments were made. If somebody came to you, assuming that the cake is art and one of a kind produced from this artist, it would be the same thing if the government came along and said, you must paint this, or you got a Jewish, a devout Jew who's also a writer and say, you must write this great article about how wonderful Hitler is. The person's like, I'm not doing that. If the government came along and said, you must write it, you must paint it, you must produce it, the artist, the individual, would be able to say, no, I'm not, because that's compelled speech. You're protected from compelled speech. The government can't tell you what to say. It also can tell you not to say something. And that was the debate as to whether or not the baker is making art. And then the same thing went in with bouquets, right? They went after that woman there in Eastern Washington. She says, no, when I make a bouquet, it's art that I'm creating with my soul. And Jesus Christ is my Savior, and it's part of my talents and my creativity comes from Him. And that's why I can't produce a bouquet for a gay wedding. So, I mean, she was shown the door. Thank you, Bob Ferguson. But man, this is a mess. What a mess.
Is this
anything
fog of
good
war
come out of
stuff,
this?
or is this...
I don't know what this is. Yeah. Yikes. Well, I'll say this, that children don't come into the world with anything on them. And we teach them love. We teach them hate. We teach them respect, disrespect. We teach them. They learn these things. Hamas has got, I don't know how many schools, maybe 6 or 7 elementary schools named after terrorists. The children are taught to hate. They have little animals. One of them looked like a kind of a cheap Mickey Mouse who got beaten up and killed. And then this other stuffed animal, stupid cartoon thing is all about like killing Jews. You watch on video of these little kids over there. Hamas basically brainwashes them to hate all Jews. I'm going to grow up and be a terrorist, and I'm going to kill as many Jews as I can. And they're all cheering. That's learned. Those kids, you're molding those children in that way. And if and the same thing happens, in homes with racists. You're taught to hate that person for the color of their skin. It's generational, especially you go some places in the South, it's still there. You get some white dad telling his kids, yeah, we don't like those, we don't like them, we don't like that. That's all taught. Where else do you learn? You grow up like all of a sudden hating somebody for the color of their skin. That's taught, right? Black and white, right? So here we are. Here's a perfect example. This woman, she wins TikTok Mom of the Year here. She goes in. Oh, she's an alleged preschool teacher, but she's talking to her.
That's what we're saying. Yeah.
But she's talking to her kids,
her
right?
Daughters, yes.
Okay. What do you think these kids learn? Listen to this. So the kids are standing there in the little playroom there, and Mom comes in and goes to make an announcement.
I have the best news ever.
Okay, I got the best news ever. Two little girls come forward. One of them appears to be 7 or...
Yeah, probably 9 and 7.
Yeah, something in there. Okay, here we go. Watch this. Best news ever. And they run up and they can't wait, right? So the mom's, I got the best news ever. And they're now going to try to guess what it is.
I have the best news ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
Donald Trump died? So, hoping a person died? One kid got Donald Trump died?
Second best news.
The vice president died?
Who?
The vice president.
A vice president died, hoping the death of J.D. Vance. They're so excited. They're jumping up and down. They can't wait.
Okay, third best news.
That Elon Musk died?
And they're laughing?
Okay, no. Nobody died. My best friend's getting married.
Her best friend. Wonder who her best friend is.
Which one is it?
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged.
It's learned. Teaching those kids. Then what are they going to grow up to be?